Welcome to the Seller Roundtable e-commerce coaching and business strategies with Andy Arnott and Amy Wees.
Stuff like that.
Definitely. All right, what's next?
All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how easy it is to actually create your own content calendar. So if you just go to airtable.com, it's a free platform for you to sign up for. This will be the main page, and then up here you'll see this templates tab. You'll just click on that, and then it's just right here, big and bold and right in your face. And then you just click on that, press use template, and then you can put this at any type of workspace that you want to put it in. But then you'll just go ahead and click add a base, and it'll have this little new signal right there. So we just double click it and it opens up, and it already populates some just stuff that it already has in there, just to kind of give you an idea of what to put in these, these little boxes here. I just always press X on that just so I can see more. But you can see, like, it tells you, it gives you a space for this stuff. So, like, for example, why swimming is good for you, say that that's a title we use and that we're wanting to write about in the future in one of our blogs. So we would actually put that in here, so why swimming is good for you. And I don't know how to spell, but we put why swimming is good for you. And then we have it on here, the status. You can make it planned if it's assigned to someone already, and you can modify this to exactly how you want it to be. If you want it to only say plan, then you can delete all these. It's super easy. It's very customizable to your liking and your standard. And then right here, you could put a subheading. So what I like to use this for is to kind of give a good overall summary, I suppose, of what we want the blog to be about. So for example, if you're outsourcing your blog writing to someone, say one of your employees or someone you're hired on Fiverr, whoever, that way they know kind of what to write about, the good idea that you're thinking of, right? So maybe we do health benefits of swimming.
And you could even pull out some of those other phrases that that Andy, why swimming is so good for you, and then you can kind of what swimming exercises are important, right? These are where you're going to basically do an outline. So you're going to have an introduction, just like you have to write a paper in high school, right? You're going to do an introduction, you're going to do all your main bullet points, and then your conclusion. And you're just going to do that full outline so that when you hand it over to your blog writer, they have an idea of what content you want to cover.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Real quick, guys, for those of you listening on the podcast and not watching, I did a quick short link here. If you don't know how to use Airtable, go to tiny.cc/AT content, short for Airtable content. And that's their video that Airtable puts out. It's 12 minutes long. It'll show you how to use Airtable. Once you get the hang of it, it's an essential tool. I know that, I started using it early on. I introduced it to Amy. We've both tried so many different platforms and we landed here just because it's the easiest to use. So check that out when you get a chance.
Yes, and it works just like a spreadsheet. So you can always add, and it's great because you can assign team members. So you can see the author column that Megan has here. We can assign team members, and then as soon as we add Megan's name to it, it'll send her an email notifying her she's been tasked with something. You can turn that on or off. You can, basically customize it to your need. You can make any column any way you want. What's great about it is it also allows you to embed attachments. So I use it for my expense tracking, all kinds of different things. But when we do our images, what we do a little bit differently is we kind of change this content calendar to include alt text, hashtags, and, obviously the blog outline, the, any additional social media images. We always create our Facebook, our Pinterest, and our Instagram images right away, along with the blog post title and bullet points. And then when we hand that off to one of our team members to actually write that blog, they're ready to go. They already have, the keywords, the alt text, the hashtags, the images that they need to share. And all they have to do is write the blog post based on the information that we've given them, and get it out there. So they can pull the images down. We don't have to email images back and forth. It's right here, hosted online for free with Airtable. So it's a really great tool for you guys to use.
Maybe following up, are you guys going to cover images, or should I throw something out real quick on images?
I was gonna input just one of these images just real quick, just to show you how to do it. You do that little plus sign, select file, and then looky there, we already have a swimming image. Press upload.
And yeah, Andy, please add
Yeah,
your
so
side
if you
of
guys
images.
are, I know like me, I used to like go in and use Canva and stuff and create all these images myself, and it's so time consuming and all that. So a quick tip for you guys, another website, another service that we use all the time, Freelancer.com. They have something called a design contest, and it's different than than some of the other ones like 99 Designs and things where you have to, have a base contest. I do contests all the time for $10, and I say, hey, I need, these 10 social media images, and you throw it out there, and you'll get quite a few entries. I mean, the more money you pay, the more entries you'll get. But even at $10, I've gotten some really great results. So use that resource to get these social media. If you need like a little infographic or, something that's more than just an image, that's a great way to get that content.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. Yeah, and we definitely use Canva and add titles and stuff like that. But oh, Judith is asking, where was that again? Judith, the answer to your question is freelancer.com. You're going to click on run a contest. And so you're going to just offer a contest, and you can do it for as little as, geez, I've done them for 10, $15 before and gotten some pretty decent results. And then you'll get a bunch of bids, people creating images, stuff like that for you. And then you can grab the one that you want, and you just pay when you pick the one that you want. So it's a really great resource to get images created if you're wanting to outsource that.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of the times too, whenever you're asking for an image, it could be the same exact image, just resized differently to fit all of your social platforms. So something to make it really easy is you can, let me move me. You can edit this to actually say Instagram or something. That way you know what this image is actually, and you hover over it and it shows, and you know exactly what this image is sized for. And I mean, you can name that anything you want.
And the great thing,
I thought that was a,
yeah, that's a really cool kind of tooltip for Airtable. The great thing about Canva is it allows you to take an existing image. So it'll put it in the Facebook post format, and there's a resize option in Canva where you can just click resize, and it'll automatically, you can choose then Instagram, Pinterest, and sometimes you have to move a few words around, but you can essentially use the same image multiple times and resize it somewhat easily, right? And then as Andy mentioned, in your freelancer.com contest or on Fiverr or whoever you're hiring to do that, you can definitely have them also size it appropriately for all of the platforms that you use.
yes, absolutely. And, like we said, I mean, it's totally customizable. You can add stuff on here, like you just press this little plus button and you can add hashtags, and you can make it a long text. You can make it an attachment or checkbox, whatever you want to do, just press save. And then you move it anywhere you want it to be. And so it's super customizable to fit exactly your style, exactly how you want it to look. You can also add tabs up here. So this already, like I said, comes preloaded. So a social schedule. So something to keep in mind to be able to put in place for, like maybe your topic is swimming, like your brand and all that good stuff, and there's a swimming holiday coming up, or some type of like the Olympics or something, and you want to make sure to remind yourself to post some type of image or some type of content on your platforms. And so you can schedule that out there. And then you can also have, again, if you hire out your services, you can have your freelancer timesheets, and they can input, the attachments to thing, how many hours, their rates, all that good stuff. So it's completely customizable. And say something I did for Amy, she has more than one business. And so what I like to do is I come up here to content, because I like these tabs up here. And I right click and I press duplicate table. And then you just press duplicate table. And what it does is it makes it a copy, and it doesn't copy over any of the text or anything like that. That way it's kind of like a fresh start. And then you could rename this anything like amazing at home. That way
Right. And you could
know
do it
that,
for all your different blogs.
yeah, and that
And
way
the
you know
thing,
all this content is strictly for that business.
and the thing that you want to do, you guys, is make sure that you are publishing content on a regular basis,
Yeah.
because how you move up in Google's rankings and any search engine's rankings is by providing regular updated content. So you definitely want to be creating blog posts on a regular basis. You want to be, keeping your engagement high, so that way you're maintaining your rankings and constantly improving your rankings across Google. So I think we've covered pretty much everything on the social media content calendar. What do we have next?
We have, back to you, Amy, tips on writing a blog.
All right, guys. So we've covered a lot of this. We've covered kind of to talk about, how, I know writing, really, people hate to write, so if you're not a writer, you should definitely hire it out. Good news for you is Amazing at Home does do blog post writing for you. So you just go to our website and fill out our little form, and we will have your blog off to you. But you really want to focus on interesting content, and you want to just kind of make sure the flow of information is good. Make sure you have that introduction, maybe 3 main points and a conclusion, something to keep people interested. Put some imagery in the middle, some images in the middle of your blog, and each of those images should have what's called alt text. And what alt text is on any website, any web post, it's in your media library. It'll have a little alt text field. And what that alt text does is it allows that image to be found in a Google search or in any search engine search, right? So if they're searching for why swimming is good for you, they'll see your image. If your SEO is written well, right, they'll see your image, and clicking that image will lead them back to your website. So you want to include some images because alt text is very powerful, and you want to use SEO content in that alt text. And then you also want to make sure that you're using tags in your blog posts. So your tags should also be very relevant and should use your SEO research. So, when you are exporting that table from Answer the Public or from Ubersuggest, you want to make sure that you're tagging your post with what is relevant, because that is, again, how you are found in search along with your alt text for your images. You want to focus on quality and not quantity, right? In fact, after 2,000 words, it actually starts to have negative impact. So you should really focus on 1,000 to 1,500 words, and just make it a very nice flow, and make sure you kind of read over it and that it makes sense. You've got good images to kind of break up the text, and definitely reference other articles, experts, and the ways that you've learned. Give credit where credit is due. Add backlinks. You can add backlinks to other sites, so that kind of helps get more traffic back to your site as well, if you're giving credit to that.
Yeah,
so
Amy, one other real quick thing to mention too,
Yep.
is if you can go find a YouTube video, even if it's not your own YouTube video, that relates, fairly closely to the content, add it to the end, because Google also sees that as a powerful signal that you've got some, relevant content there.
Definitely. And then Yoast is a plugin for WordPress. And what Yoast does is it allows you to automatically make searchable pins on Pinterest. And it also helps you write SEO friendly blog posts. So you can finish writing your blog post, and Yoast, this plugin, will show you how easy it is to read, how relevant it is for your focus keyword. It's kind of like listing lightning for blog posts. So it's really good, a really good free plugin to use. And there's also a premium version of it. Grammarly is a great way. Grammarly is a website. And what it does is it helps you make sure that your grammar's on point, right? It'll look for plagiarism. It'll help you with your grammar. And it's kind of like checking your grammar in Microsoft Word, but it has a much more powerful online engine to do that. So throw it in there and it will really help you with that. The other thing, every time I create a video, I introduced you guys to otter.ai the other day, where it takes your videos or your meetings, your meeting notes, stuff like that, and it will translate it and transcribe it into just regular text, readable text. And so you can take those and turn them into blog posts. But if you take that text and you throw it into Grammarly, it will make it much easier to quickly clean up that text. Because when we talk, we say things like so and like and and those kind of things will also be transcribed into any kind of voice transcription. So you want to use a tool like Grammarly to help you just quickly clean it up and get it out there and make it very readable.
Also, Grammarly has a Google Chrome extension too. So even if you're typing a post on Facebook or something, it'll catch like misspelled errors and let you know about it. So that's pretty cool too. It's a cool tool.
Awesome. And so the other thing that a lot of people don't do, if you guys are feeling overwhelmed, like, oh my gosh, I don't want to post 15 blogs a year. That's just too much for me. I don't want to worry about that. Well, you can always use your old blog. So what we do in our brands and businesses is we always update one old post every other blog that we post. So we do a current post and it's built right into our social media calendar. So we do a current post and then we do an old post and then we do, and when you're updating an old post, you can research fresh SEO for it and update some of those keywords. You can freshen up the wording, maybe change the angle a little bit, add new pictures, and then add a new product offer, right? So if you had a product offer halfway down the blog or built into your blog, driving traffic to your listing, well, this is a great opportunity to promote something new and kind of release it as a new, fresh blog post. Don't forget to update your old blog content that you've already spent time on, and that's also going to help your website ranking.
Yeah,
Andy, do you have any tips?
Yeah, really quick on that is, when you first do the blog post, like Amy said, you can keep it fairly short, 1,000 to 2,000 characters. I believe, if you want the master and all this stuff, like we talked about Neil Patel, he's got so many resources on his website, but I believe they did a study and it was right around like 1,800 characters was like the sweetest spot for your blog post. So try to keep stuff near there. And kind of his theory, which I think is a really good one, is throw your 1,800 piece blog post out there and then see which one pops. Use your analytics, see which one starts getting the most traffic. Once you see that, then that's where you go long form. That's when you start really spending the most time updating that one blog post that's doing really, really well, and adding more images, adding more content, adding more relevance, because what you want to do then is make that content so good that Google sees you as the authority and then drives even more traffic your way.
Yes, definitely. All right. And finally, creating your own content calendar. If this is something that seems cool, hopefully you have taken our tips today and you can put some of them into action. But this is something that we offer at Amazing at Home. So if this is something that you would like us to do for you, we offer 6 months. We create 6 different blog posts for you with the outline for the blog post. We provide the hashtags, we provide the alt text, we provide the images. So definitely check that out. It's at amazingathome.com underneath the services menu. And we also offer a blog writing service. So if you want us to write the blog for you, we do that for as little as $30 a blog. And what's great is we are all native English speakers. So you're not going to get back a blog post like you might on Fiverr, which is going to be, need all of this grammar and correction from that standpoint. So if you're wanting some help with that, definitely reach out to us. We're happy to help. And we hope that this has enabled you and empowered you to create some of your own stuff.
Yes, absolutely. And then I wanted to throw this in here because if you guys have any more questions about your business, or you wanted to get back on track, or whatever you need in your business right now, this is such a great spot to be for to improve your business, improve, maybe you need better task handling, whatever you need. we're having our Inspire conference July 28th through the 30th, and it's going to be so much fun. We have so many great speakers, such good content, and this will actually be presented again, and I'm so excited to do it. So I just want to throw that in there for y'all.
We'll give all the good juicy tips in person. That's where that happens, right?
In person. Those are the best ones.
All right. Well, we can end our live session here. Thank you everyone for tuning in. And then we are going to do what we do every week on Seller Roundtable, which is hang out with the people who showed up live and answer their questions for free. So we will see you guys next time. If you ever want to join us live, you simply go to sellerseo.com/SRT. And thank you guys so much for listening and for rating us and reviewing us. We absolutely love giving you guys great content and being here with you every week. And we look forward to next week.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. Join us every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for live Q&A and bonus content after the recording at sellerroundtable.com. Sponsored by the ultimate software tool for Amazon sales and growth, sellerseo.com and amazingathome.com.